as opponents of Julius Malema, the leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, have proclaimed a war against him. Political tensions in Limpopo have reached a breaking point. Before we continue, please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. Turn on the notification bell so as to get all our updates. In the province, where Malema, a native of Limpopo, has traditionally had strong support, the declaration represents a dramatic uptick. Growing discontent with Malema's leadership and the EFF's policies has led to the declaration by local politicians and community leaders opposing his influence. Malema's detractors charge him of using divisive language and falling short of his pledges to bring about land reform and economic development in the area. One of Malema's most outspoken critics in Limpopo issued a forceful statement that said, "We are sick of Malema's divisive politics and hollow promises. We are prepared to confront him and his party at any opportunity because he has abandoned the people of Limpopo." The war proclamation is mostly symbolic, but it does show how far apart Malema's followers and opponents are becoming. The action is seen as an effort to incite opposition against the EFF leader in his home province, where personal and deep-rooted political allegiances are common. As a result, Malema's followers have come together and vowed to stand up for their leader in the face of what they perceive to be a planned onslaught by other politicians. A provincial EFF spokesman said, "Julius Malema has always stood for the people of Limpopo, and we will not allow anyone to tarnish his name or undermine his work." Concerns about possible unrest have been raised by the scenario since neither side seems inclined to give in. Political observers caution that if the disagreement is not properly controlled, it might escalate into bloodshed, particularly as the nation prepares for impending elections. Limpopo law enforcement organizations have advised political leaders to settle their disputes via discussion rather than force and have asked for calm. The focus is still squarely on Malema as the tension builds, as how he responds to this challenge might have a big political effect. Once again, sources claim that Julius Malema's mounting paranoia is the reason why the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, the third largest political party in South Africa, lost out on the chance to win 4 important cabinet seats in a prospective government of national unity, GNU. The EFF was reportedly on the verge of negotiating a sizable position in the national government. According to sources inside the party and other political groups, this move might have cemented the party's influence and the execution of its policies at the highest echelons of authority. Major parties would have shared power under the GNU, a proposal put out to stabilize South Africa's sometimes unstable political environment by balancing their conflicting interests. Political observers believed that the EFF's involvement was essential to a unity government of this kind because of its wide base of support and the radical program for economic reform that it advocates. The African National Congress, ANC, which is in power, has agreed to give the EFF 4 cabinet slots as part of advanced negotiations with other significant political actors. With these posts, the EFF would have been able to lead important portfolios that complemented its main policy goals, such as land reform and economic growth. Insiders assert that the collapse of these talks was caused by Malema's growing distrust of other political figures, especially those in the ANC. The fiery orator and uncompromising posture of the EFF leader reportedly carried concerns that the ANC was using the GNU as a tactic to subdue his party's power and appropriate its radical agenda. He apparently withdrew from talks as a result of this anxiety, believing that the EFF would be excluded from decision-making when the GNU was formed. Political analysts and members of the EFF are debating Malema's decision. Some contend that the party leader's prudence was justified, while others feel that it was a squandered chance that would have expedited the EFF's objectives of land redistribution and economic emancipation. The action has also sparked debate on Malema's leadership style, which some see as becoming more solitary and untrusting of cooperation, and the party's strategic direction. The EFF's ability to influence national policy may be permanently impacted if they are unable to get cabinet posts in a hypothetical GNU. In order to stay relevant and advance its platform, the party will need to review its alliances and policies as the general elections of 2024 get near. It remains to be seen whether Malema's cautious strategy will pay off in the long term, but for the time being at least, it has clearly cost the EFF a major footing in the halls of power. Floyd Shivambu's quick and unexpected switch from